So a lot of global controversies have happened throughout the years, and some of them have been funny to the like having it where the last unit isn't what it's supposed to be, like how the thumbnail shows, or just having it where the game is completely unplayable. I'm a global person, and I also have been on iOS for the entire time, so we're going to be specifically looking at those bugs, since that's the only thing I can really comment on, since that's the only thing I've really been playing. Some of these are just like I was talking about, funny ones where it's just like you could be able to reset the turn. Obviously, it was solved in 2017, but up until then, you could play the game. If you saw there was a super attack before you would die, you would just swipe up and then have it where you would close out the app, and then the turn would be reset. So what you could do is you would just use an item to make it where you obviously wouldn't be able to die. So it's just like, you know, funny stuff like that would obviously be really funny, right? Then we can go ahead and go into 2016, and we can go into a little more controversial stuff. So it's funny. So now stuff like this never happens, and it's because a lot of the laws have changed since then. But basically, during the release of the full power Frieza banner, the banner showed both the AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku with the awakened art and the physical Kid Buu with the awakened art, instead of the AGL SSR and the physical SSR respectively. Not only like it doesn't say it was not fixed, there was no compensation later on either. If we go ahead and look at one that happens to JP though, I can't remember, I think it's later on. We'll talk about that. But it's funny because they kind of changed the laws on how, you know, gacha games worked, and there's also like an industry standard that started happening that stuff like this doesn't happen anymore. You'll notice if you ever go into a banner, also we could look at the image real quick too. You'll notice if you go into a banner, you'll never see the TOR versions of a character. It's always the SSR versions, and the reason why is because they're supposed to show you what you would get right off the bat. They're not supposed to show you what happens if you awaken them, because not everybody can awaken them, not everybody can beat the event, so they obviously need to show something that you can get right off the bat, because then it's just false advertisement, and then they can get hit with a lawsuit, right? But again, the laws and stuff were a lot different back then, and a lot less strict, I would say. I wonder if they're going to talk about it too. But yeah, due to the excess numbers of players logging in, it was impossible to enter the game for several hours. Something that was also very funny, and let me just double check to see if they did talk about it. They did not. So one of the things that was really, again, just another industry standard that didn't become a thing until later on is gacha games never told you what the rates of the stuff is. The main issue with that obviously is you don't know how often you're going to pull the new character. You don't know how often you're going to pull like Gogeta or Janemba or anything like that, right? But the main issue was that Dokkan, somebody in the community was having a bot to basically summon in the game and be able to tell you what the banner rates were for SSRs at the time were. And as many people have probably told you, S-Tier Gogeta was like the #1 guy. He was the guy. You had him on your team, or you didn't have a team at all, right? The main issue with this was that when Gogeta eventually did come to the global version, and JP knew how much of a, I don't want to say a mistake, but how much of a dominant unit S-Tier Gogeta was, they lowered the rates to get an SSR around the time. Obviously, the only way you would be able to check this is by having a bot that literally summon for hours upon hours on end, because then it would be able to give you averages and stuff like that. But the averages of SSRs went down from that data, and it was really scummy back then. It was so bad, but it was a crazy time back then, right? Then into Ultimate Gohan didn't have his thing activate. That link where, yeah, Ultimate Awakening would make you take less damage, or not Ultimate Awakening with the link. It was just making it where, you know, he would take less damage because of like one of his passive skill effects as an enemy boss, but it didn't activate, so it was very easy. And as you can see here, it happened the same thing again. Was unable to happen for a couple hours, and then they released Vegeta unable to go in for a couple hours, which is very funny. This doesn't really matter, you know, like the coloring being wrong on the feet. It is what it is, right? Yeah, 150,000 Baba, no, 15,000 Baba points. That's crazy. I think I remember when this was a thing too. Like if you had the Pan's Secret Adventure, you could do it twice if you just did it at a certain time, which was really funny. By switching friends with those loading. Oh wait, no, that's JP. All right, let's go ahead and go into the next year. Again, dude, their servers were not able to handle some of the login stuff because they weren't expecting obviously a lot of people playing that many times back then. The rewards for this world tournament were given out twice. Was the ranking reward? That makes sense. I feel like they definitely have cracked down a lot on the hackers since then, and that's probably the reason why, you know, they have definitely like tried to like let you know at every single point in the game that, hey, if you do this, we're gonna ban you, and you're gonna lose your entire account. I hope you know that. It's definitely like, it's just, I think that happens every single tournament where they just have to give an announcement now, but that is pretty nice, you know, to see that they do give rewards when they aren't able to control it. Wow, not able to enter in when Gogeta drops again. It just keeps happening, right? It's not that big of a deal. Several links were updated. Yeah, we saw the link level updates effects where they changed everything. I remember this too. This was like one of the biggest controversies for global ever, when both of the units would have it where they would say to be released as their leader skill, meaning that they just didn't drop. And the main reason for that is because global was still going through type leaders, so we still had int Gogeta and STR Janema being like one of the better leaders because, like I said, it's just typings, right? So we were still going through the 120 leaders, but because of that, they didn't want to immediately drop like a category 150 lead when we were still going through that, so they made it where it was a to be continued thing, and it resulted in me pulling Tech Gogeta on release and then not having a leader. It's very, very funny. Yeah, see, this is the thing I was talking about too, about like just the what is it, the I guess, like I said, the industry standard being different. There was a time period where they accidentally displayed false rates due to this false rates being illegal. There was a possibility of legal claims against the developers. It was quickly fixed in the game, and then people who summoned on the banner while the false rates were displayed got all of their stones refunded, plus an additional 300 stones as compensation on the JP version. It was so insane. Like, I believe this has happened like twice. Not the what is it called? Not the 300s or not the dude, I'm having an aneurysm over here. Not the false rates, just the compensation of the refund with the 300 stones. I think it's happened like on JP twice, which is very crazy. Easy health bar and animation skip. Where there's a bug when you either super attack, there's an enemy bar will decrease before the enemy. I've seen that before too. It was usually how you would be able to. Yeah, dude, it's something that you still see, where sometimes normal attacks will just kind of skip. It's very weird too. I feel like it doesn't happen for super attack animations as much, but normal attacks easily get skipped like a lot of the times, especially for me. The animation is just skipped entirely, but the enemy health bar goes down. Was zoomed in a rectangle animation that was showed his face was too high to the point it was cut. Happened in both versions. 2018 for global. That's funny. Liking a specific type. I'm a iOS player. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Wait, is that the thing I was talking about? Yep, this is the thing I was talking about. We'll just quickly talk about it because, like I said, I'm a global player, so it doesn't really. I can't really comment on it. But again, they showed the TUR image. You can see it here. They showed the TUR image for Tech Broly, which is a big no-no. You're not supposed to show things of characters that are already awakened. Because of this, they not only got their entire Dragon Stones refunded again, but they also got 5 stones gifted as well as compensation, which is, again, very, very funny. Or very crazy, I should say. Got the rewards twice, and compensation to distribute all the rewards for the second time. Those players who got the bug had 3 times the rewards. That's crazy, dude. I actually don't remember this one. That means that they got like 100 stones from that, because it's 17 and 18 stones. Rare bug where during a battle, a coward's icon will disappear and the key meter will shrunk down and pulled into the center with the attack. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Our Vegeta was about to be released. He had the over in a flash, but he was officially released to change to prepare for battle. This was made possible due to players' feedback. This is something that's crazy too. That means that like Vegito, the Vegito Blue, has had it's crazy that this Vegito has been like changed twice due to players' feedback. I think it was in 2022. We could just quickly look at it. People were like, if he stacks on his 12 key, why would you not want to get the 12 key? Why were they making it so easy to get the 18 key? Because remember, he had the medium chance. He also built up. He had the key right here where it would give him up to a 10. So it's just like it makes the 18 key so high. So why would you want to get that instead? So they buffed the chance to get an additional super attack from 30% to 50%, which was pretty nice. I think we were in 2017, right? No, we were in 2018. Dude, it's actual hell. I hate the diamond backgrounds, if I'm gonna be honest. It's so bad. Oh yeah, dude, it was crazy. They gave everybody the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta in box, and some of the boxes people thought they were just being nice, and then they took it out. They took it out of people's boxes. People were like, no. That was crazy. And again, this is the thing though. It's just like, why would they do this, right? So we talked about previously like how Tech Super Saiyan 3 Broly was awakened on the image, right? Instead of having it where it's the the SSR art. And then they showed Goku Black, Goku Black SSR Rose. They had it where on his banner it said Sin Shenron, but it was showing the Tech Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and they were just like, oh, we'll correct it, and then we'll give you 1 stones. But then it's just like something happens on the JP version, and they gave the refunds, which is why it upset a lot of the global players for sure, myself included, obviously. Let's keep going though. Beginning of the thing, the Spears was able to be purchased number 4, but the Baba Shop was accidentally listed as Super Saiyan Goku. Yeah, see, it's more things. This one doesn't matter as much because it doesn't matter as much because the compensation was given out, and then it was obviously like something you just pick up with the thing instead. But still, there was possibilities to someone prove good by collecting the 7 Namekian Dragon Balls. During the third set of wishes to get the 5-star Dragon Ball, you need to complete 1 potential Orbs events. Using them because both. Unlike all other events, however, it can be attained the following days any of the orb events. Yeah, I remember when people were talking about that too. They were just upset that you couldn't get that. With the release of the representatives of the Universe 7 category on the global version added to the category by mistake, the issue is fixed a couple weeks after, and all the people. Yeah, because they're from Resurrection F. That's funny though. Move the ability to buy Dragon Stones. Game was completely removed from the Belgian Google store. Damn. Your Saints category has released these 2 global exclusive characters on part of the due to them being part of Japanese. Yeah, I think I had both of these guys too. I don't remember how I got them. I just remember that I did get them. Game would randomly crash for many new players. Those who had encountered issues were compensated 5 stones. I feel like it should have been all, but yeah. Tens of thousands of players removed from the global layers, only received from the local performance. Hours later, as reflected, received their original ranking and compensation listed here. We'll just go ahead and check at that. Oh, it was just 5, and then, okay. It's like Awakening Medals too. Played about how the lackluster the compensation was for such a huge oversight, and how players who weren't affected by the area got to keep their booster rewards. That's true, yeah. I remember that they took the I'm so sad about that because I did like that it was Goku and Krillin. The problem was that because Krillin wasn't the thing, people were wondering why it wasn't a Goku and Krillin card, but then it made sense once it obviously turned into a Goku and a Raleigh card instead upon awakening. Was a Ki Blast move before it was changed to a physical move. I mean, it makes sense that it was a Ki Blast because it literally has it where it's orbs. One of the Vegeta's family category released on the global version was in part due to the game still having a limit of 6 categories per character. Announced in the news clarified that it would be following. That's funny. I think I pulled them on release too. A lot of these global controversies, I just don't remember, honestly. The Joint Forces category was released on the global version. Dude, there's so much stuff that it's just like, oh, because it wasn't on the JP. Well, they added it later on because it wasn't on JP. I remember this. This was a huge thing. So this bug was on both versions. I don't know why it doesn't say if it was for both versions though. So it allowed them to build up key, meaning that their 12 key would be 13 to 18 key instead of their just a 12 key. And the developers announced that they would try to fix it, but it happened on both versions. And then not only that, but they noticed that other characters were getting it as well. So into Ultimate Gohan, for example, would do a super attack, and then instead of it having it where it would obviously be at 12 key, he would be doing attack as if he was doing it at like 16 key, 17 key, right? Because the amount of key that he got was post attack, so it just went beyond that bar, right? So it made Ultimate Gohan and AGL Kale and Khalifa so much better than they were supposed to be, which was a huge nerf because Ultimate Gohan sucked before and he sucked even more afterwards. AGL Kale and Khalifa was still dominant in the #1 position though. Show his character. This has actually happened for a couple of characters on release though. It's funny that they only mentioned this one, but it's happened for a couple of characters. I can't remember any off the top of my head where it just doesn't show their awakening, but they still are able to be awakened, as you can see right there by the Awakens logo still being highlighted and not just being not what is it? Not hollowed out or like grayed out. Acquired it only during his last 2 transformations. Goten and Android 17, on the other hand, lost the category upon Dokkan Awakening. That's funny. Goten and Android 17 were removed from the category altogether, while Vegeta gained it in all of his forms. Also fixed a hidden bug. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, giving some characters false attack stats. Attack skill muting. There is voice lines that still play the active skills despite having the sound muted. The options currently being worked on and will be fixed in a future update. I don't remember that. That makes it seem like it's still in the game. There's a rare bug where the key needle will not show set at 12, but instead show a lower amount of key. I've never seen that happen too. Special missions allowed players to obtain 7 extra missions. However, they were reset unexpectedly, and players get 14 extra missions throughout the week. Alright, complete the extra missions were compensated with the extra 1 to 3 tickets, depending on the number of missions. And compared to the number of missions, the ones compensated would miss out on the additional 4 tickets, yeah. Unlimited with launch at 9 to 15 key. Following the... Oh yeah, I remember that when she released on the global version, her key thing was bugged because it was supposed to... She's supposed to have it where she can activate her both of super attacks 3 key earlier, which is like how we've seen for like Goten and Trunks, for example. But for whatever reason, when she released on global, it just didn't have that. So we had to wait for it to be fixed. It was really weird during the 4th year anniversary to have that happen, especially because she was the first quote-unquote active skill character in the game. You had to wait 15 days to get her though, so I don't know if you want to count that, but her like assets were in the game for the active skills. Several category changes have been made to the existing characters. Yes, I remember that. It made sense because it was just like, why are some of these characters not on here? But then it also made a little bit less sense because it was like, why did they add these characters but some of the other characters aren't on it too? They were like, they finally admitted that they made a mistake with some of the categories, but then they just didn't add some of these characters onto the categories as well. But I don't want to complain too much because it's still a good thing. Yeah, it's nice. I like either or. Same with this. Same with that. Has the ripped color changed? These guys got the nail colors. It's funny. Several bugs added to the thing. They were active for 12 hours until they were fixed. The missions weren't. Oh. Certain characters have a problem with their passive skills. AGL Super Entry 13 and the other interested in stage 2 of the Beyond running against Super Saiyan God Goku. That's so weird to have it word specifically against that one. I think I do remember this one because I did easy A this guy. Couldn't have their attack boost when there was a Super Saiyan God Kaioken ally attacking in the same turn. That's so weird to have it where you know, it's just certain characters aren't allowed to have that. Yeah, see, again, it's just like they keep adding characters onto the categories, and this was a good one, but it's just weird that sometimes it just didn't do it still. More in-game requirements. Dokkan Awakenings with the wrong medals. Best Buddies becomes high compatibility. Demonic Ways becomes... Or Demon becomes Demonic Ways. Rival Duo, solid support. Master and people become telepathy. I totally forgot about that. Link skill changes. Yeah, this is the thing that we saw earlier. Link system update. Yeah, this was a good one, another good one, when they added all of the pre-fusion characters onto Pure Saiyans, because it meant that any time that they were going to do it in the future, like Super Saiyan Blue, Goku and Vegeta, for example, we knew that they were going to be on Pure Saiyans, so it made a thing. It almost made like a point that having the characters not pre-fused at the beginning was better than having them fused at the beginning, because it just meant that we had obviously the Goku and Vegeta portions, but they would also be on the Pure Saiyans category, which obviously helped them out in the long run, especially when these two easy 8 obviously. During Global's maintenance, incorrectly registered Global as the loser. Global's amount was set to 0 and was added towards JP's total. So if you logged in during that time, you would get the wrong unit. That's pretty funny. I mean, the thing was that like we wanted to lose on the global version because this card, while he didn't awaken, he was a Super Saiyan Vegeta Angel, and if we go ahead and do the disambiguation, we'll go ahead and notice that there is no Super Saiyan Vegeta Angel that is like usable in the game. Yeah, it was just the AGL one. So obviously when same names and stuff were and still are a big thing, just having it where you could use that character instead was so much better. And then if we go ahead and look at the Goku side of things, obviously it's a Super Saiyan Goku. There's 16 million Gokus who are Super Saiyan on the game, so Vegeta was easily better in terms of that. And I believe his passive was also better too, because a lot of it was like activated pre-super attack. Yeah, see, 3 key, 90% when attacking, but like Vegeta's was like so much multiplicative stuff. It was 35% here, 20% when attacking, 2 key, and 35% attack and defense when receiving an attack. He gets the multiplicative boost here. 109% for 3 turns compared to... I guess never mind. I never knew that the Vegeta was worse. That's pretty funny. I did not know that. During the release of the Super Dragon Ball Heroes campaign, build the information. However, the global version had some differences. Yes, I remember that. We saw that it was weird. We had different categories and different links, and they had to clarify. Yeah, there were several mistakes in that they would take down the posts. Characters ended up being the same on both versions. Yeah, we expected that though. Like, dude, it was just so weird that all of the stuff was changed. Chin color. Oh, they just be giving him a white chin. Gotenks' name was changed from Grim Reaper of Death's Rampage to Grim Reaper Justice Rampage. Most likely because he likes to call himself the Hero of Justice or Grim Reaper of Justice. That makes sense. He literally does say it in the active skill as well. This is what the thumbnail of the video that we were talking about. So during the New Year's Dokkan Festival banner, or the step up banner, we would have it where on the last step, the person who was supposed to be guaranteed all the way down here was STRUI Goku. The problem was that if during the first 41 hours, wait, no, it wasn't the first 41 hours. It actually doesn't say, but it was, the banner itself was down for 41 hours. But during like the first couple of days of the banner, we'll say, people noticed that they got Tech Super Saiyan 3 Goku when they should have gotten STRUI, because obviously, like I said, it's on the banner. It showed it on like the step up sort of thing. It would show this whole list, right? But again, the main issue with that was that obviously if people summoned and they got a Super Saiyan, Tech Super Saiyan 3 Goku, they would be like, what the hell? And it was swapped with STRUI instead. The main issue with this though is even though we got compensation and we got the 10 stones and we got the refund, the main issue with this is people who obviously still got Tech Super Saiyan 3 Goku would have preferred STRUI instead. He was still very, very good at the time of this New Year's banner, because Dodge or Die units are always going to age pretty well. Especially with his 70% chance to dodge, right? But obviously, we take what we can get, right? But it was funny because at the time I was a free-to-play player, so I did save up for this banner, and I spent 2 step-ups. I did 2 whole rotations, and then I couldn't do anymore. And I was like, damn, I know this is going to get like compensation of some kind. I wish I could summon more. And then the compensation came and they refunded it. And they also put everybody back to the first step. Yeah, the players got to keep their characters and the progress and the step up was left as it was. So, if you basically completed the entire banner, you would go back to wherever you were before the banner went down, obviously. But I think I got to like 1.5, and then I used that 1.5 stones that I got refunded, or steps of stones that I got refunded, and I finished the rest of the banner for that. So for me personally, it was very good, even though I already had STRUI, and while I obviously wanted to get more copies, I cared so much more about getting everybody else on the banner too. This is the whole thing that was updated. That I believe was a good thing. So before, anything that had a medium chance, some people had 30% and some people had 25%. So they made it where anybody who had a medium chance was just upgraded to a 30%, no matter what. Yeah, every medium chance in the game was changed from 25 to 30 because STR Janemba, one of the few exceptions to have a medium chance to evade 30%. Yeah. And then all passives with the high chance of stun were upgraded from 40% to 50%. You know, they basically made it where everything was even. Anything that was medium is 30%. Anything that's high is 50%. Anything that's great is stayed at 70%. During the same update, a bug prevented to give key to all allies with the medium chance. It was fixed, and her passive skill was changed so that her key boost was always guaranteed. I wonder if they mentioned that in the Awakening. I guess not. With the release of LR Team Turles, several older characters required different medals to Z-Awaken. Before Team Turles, the 4 common required things. Well, they required Spirit of Might Awakening medals on JP. This has now been changed to both of the servers requiring the Fruit of Tree Might. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Farming from events is a lot easier, obviously. This was the worst thing in the game. I genuinely just logged in and I did not play for so long. So this was easily the worst global thing of all time. So with the update 4.14.3, multiple events were not able to be played, which as you can see here was like everything. Extreme Super Battle Road, Infinite Dragon Ball History, Fighting Legendary Goku event, the Dokkan Punch Machine, Super Battle Road, a Boss Rush. Like all of these events are like were the hardest events in the game, and they literally were not playable at all. Like the only thing that we could test our characters out on was gone, and then a lot of the Dokkan events were taken down as well. So it's just like what are you supposed to play, right? And then not only that, but another issue happened too, where if you were using support items, you were you most likely had the game crash too. Yeah, this issue hasn't been fixed, and players have asked not to use support items while challenging any stages before the issue has been fixed. So yeah, it just became an issue of like if you use support items, your game would crash. They had to do this whole announcement in the thing where it's just like the usage of support items in the events temporarily being closed. And then after that, guess how much stones we got? All players receive 3 stones for the issue mentioned for the certain events, and then the 5 stones for the issue relating support items. And then the world tournament got postponed as well. It genuinely was the worst time to play Dokkan. Like, it was so boring. There was nothing to do. Again, another category change, which was pretty good. We got a lot of the Vegetas on, say, Gifted Warriors, which is good. Name of the thing from Shocking Death Ball to Electric Eclipse Ball. Match the active skill. That makes sense. Issue with text 17, whose type when Extreme Z Awakened. Oh no, Z Awakened was not changed from. I don't even remember that part. An issue regarding link skills. If the link skill contains a decimal, only the point of the whole number will be applied. For example, if it's 18.5, the thing would be 18 instead of 18.5. I'm assuming they already fixed that. Again, freezes were added to Gifted Warriors. Very good. Boo also as well. Operating systems for iOS 11 will not only be supported. Yeah, just more stuff. During Tanabata, there was an issue where the amount of coins exchanged were 150 rather than 200. This appeared to be a mistake, but it will stay 150 until the Tanabata festival, and future summons the amount change is set back to 200. Wow, so it's cheaper than it's supposed to be, and then they changed it back. I'm pretty sure this was this before the EZA, or was this after the EZA? 2021. If it was post EZA, it was post EZA. His EZA was really good, so that's definitely a good thing. That easily there's no way that they did it on global version though. Was different in both versions of the game, right? As the global adaptation. The main reason why this was like this though is because, as you could see, the just art in general was the art that you would see on the card. So that's probably the reason why it just wasn't how it was. But I feel like for situations like this, they really should just have it where you're able to like look at both versions and kind of like swap between the two. I think having it where it would be like that would be really nice. Calculating the glitch would stack depending on how many times you perform the glitch, and the stack carried throughout all the events. The stage was stronger to avoid glitches. Potential bans could ensue. Yeah, it was the airplane mode bug, dude. That was so funny. The amount of people who were just like, "Oh, look at this! Chow Man's the best unit in the game." This guy had 76 million attack stat. There's 763 million. Yeah, no, that's 76 million. So all the best units in the game were obviously around that time. And here we go with the last of the units. We'll quickly talk about them because I don't think it matters too much. So again, Global or JP like kind of made a hissy fit about both of these units, and rightfully so. And then they changed both of their passives. And since then we haven't seen too many bugs. The only one I could think about, and I'll talk about it after this, was the Master Roshi event, but we'll talk about that after this. So yeah, as a result, their passive now gets an additional 20% per Goku ally, because people thought they weren't as defensively strong or offensively strong as they should have been. They also got they gained another 20% up to 50% with each attack performed, and their great chance of additional super attack is now guaranteed to at least launch an additional normal attack, which is good because remember, you want hidden potentials. And I believe he stacks on 12 key too. No, he just stacks on 18 key, but it was still good because obviously you get the defense for one turn on the 12 key. Goku and Gohan's original passive prior to the change: 2 key, 59%, 20% at the start of each turn. I wonder, did he keep that at the start of each turn one? Yeah, he did keep the one at the start of each turn. So yeah, like I said, they just made him more defensively buffed. And then this one, obviously, I was talking about before, made it where they got the additional super attack change. And then they also was eventually altered, so now it gains an additional 50% defense with each attack performance. So yeah, before he did not have this part of the passive, which did help a lot. He got 10% attack up to 50% with each attack that he performed, or sorry, super attack that he performed, which, like I said, it made it where he was a little bit better in some of the stacking events for sure. But something that I've definitely noticed with the Master Roshi event, which they did not talk about, was a lot of users just don't have it where it counts towards the missions. So let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see, it's I believe it's a daily event. It's not a weekly event. Maybe I could just look at it through all events. I mean, right here. So a lot of people have it where there's supposed to be missions that you can get every single day. Well, not every single day. At the start it's every single day, and then it kind of like wanes out but gives you more stones. There's a lot of people who, after they gave the ability to do it twice with the update of what's it called, the rank ups and all that, or the power level boost, I should say, the power level boost, and how it would give you like extra attempts in this stage. They noticed that they started not being able to get the mission updated. So there's somebody who's I can't remember who in the community, he lost like 100 attempts in the missions. So he like lost like 5 stones, I believe, which doesn't sound like a lot, but stones are stones, you know. And it's obviously still an issue that I'm assuming they're still going through too. So it does suck, you know, situations like that where it's just like they give us more attempts, but then because of this, we're supposed to be getting this technically 2 times faster. And even like some of this stuff where it's like 10 stones for all of these things, it doesn't happen as faster because it's just not accounting the attempts, right? It is weird. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Well, what is probably the worst global controversy in your opinion, or just the worst controversy that you've had to go through in your opinion? What's the funniest? What do you guys think? I tried doing something a little bit different today, but again, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you as always, Will, for being a member. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.